what happened when I came face to face with Josie Murray, Gus's transgender grandmother.
Who are you?
Pardon?
Who are you?
I'm with the media.
Out! You are trespassing. Get out!
I'm so sorry, I just...
Get out! Are you deaf?
Okay. I was leaving.
Get out!
I was leaving.
Shut your face and get out!
That's quite a temper, and that's just one of the red flags in this update about missing Australian tot Gus Lamont. So in today's video, let's watch it together and count them all. I'm Deception Detective, an attorney trained in statement analysis. This channel exposes lies and manipulation, so if that's your thing, hit subscribe. For early access, exclusive videos, and other cool perks, consider becoming a channel member. Link in description. Even if you're familiar with this case, you might not know the backstory behind that clip. So before we dive into this Daily Mail update, here's the full context, and pay close attention because this actually makes it even worse. I'll explain after.
The grandmother of missing boy Gus Lamont has been filmed holding a shotgun as she was approached by an interstate media crew on the Mid-North property where the 4-year-old vanished.
Police today slammed the behaviour of the news outlet as their latest search of a large dam failed to find any new clues.
Wading through the sludge. Police today back at the Mid-North property going over old ground a month after little Gus Lamont went missing.
What we're doing is we're going back through every aspect of the search.
This is the third major search on the station near Yunta and emotions are still high. Gus's grandmother, shotgun in hand, confronts a Daily Mail reporter outside the homestead, despite the family's repeated pleas for privacy.
We'll have the police on you because you've been warned not to come here. Now get out! Get out!
The outlet's behaviour drawing the ire of top police.
The person had the gun for a legitimate purpose. They were dispatching a snake that was on their porch. There was no intent by the person having that firearm at that time to be threatening in any way.
And a stern warning to leave the family alone.
If this persists, then action will be taken. You will either be reported or arrested. This is completely disgraceful conduct.
But it was no distraction for police. Their focus, this dam 600 metres from where the little boy vanished. Water Operations Police trying to rule out the possibility that Gus drowned, millions of litres of water pumped out, allowing a closer look.
So that's the explanation for the shotgun-wielding tirade on the porch, that Gus's grandparents were simply dispatching a snake. I don't buy it, but even if I did, it's not much better than simply admitting to having anger management issues, because it means they knowingly let their 4-year-old grandson play outdoors, unsupervised, at dusk, in an area where the snakes are so bold and so dangerous that the adults need shotguns to fend them off. And let's not forget the gigantic unfenced body of water nearby. In other words, no matter how you slice it, you're either looking at guardians who are extremely neglectful or ones with anger management issues, which correlate with child abuse and domestic violence. And that's just from one clip. So without further ado, let's dive into the full report.
My name is Jonica Bray and I'm a senior reporter at the Daily Mail. I'm currently in Yunta, South Australia, where I have been covering the case of Gus Lamont, the missing 4-year-old. It's been over a month since Gus disappeared at his grandparents' remote property with no sign of the little boy. I've travelled deep into the South Australian outback to try to speak to the Murray family to hear their side of the story firsthand. But what unfolded when I arrived was something I could never have expected.
Get out! Are you deaf?
Within minutes, I found myself staring down a shotgun. Here's what we know about that fateful day more than a month ago when Gus went missing. Gus was playing on a pile of dirt outside the property that afternoon. Grandmother Shannon discovered Gus was gone when she went to call him inside for dinner at around 5:30 p.m. The family reported him missing 3 hours later. Shannon was inside the homestead looking after Gus's 1-year-old brother Ronnie when the little boy vanished. It has been reported that Gus's mum Jessica was with Josie looking for lost sheep around 10 k's from the homestead when Gus disappeared. The whereabouts of Gus's mother, Jessica Murray, and his one-year-old brother, Ronnie, are currently unknown. Locals say that they haven't seen any sign of them since the tragic day that Gus went missing. 2 hours away from the Murray station, Gus's father, Joshua Lamont, has been living in and renovating a home in Belaley North. Since Gus went missing, the house appears to be deserted, with talk of a deepening rift between him and the rest of the Murray family. It's understood Joshua only found out that his child was missing when the police woke him up in his Belaley North home hours after Gus had vanished. South Australia police say there are no suspicious circumstances surrounding Gus's disappearance and that they believe the boy had wandered off. Daily Mail does not suggest otherwise.
Well, I do suggest otherwise, because the entire family scattering off the face of the earth as soon as their kid is reported missing is suspicious. So is the story that 2 of them were far off looking for lost sheep around the time that Gus disappeared. As I've said many times in my videos, I never like it when someone either takes a long drive before or after calling the police to report someone missing. Time and again on the channel, the long drivers end up being found guilty, like Stephen Stearns, Chris Watts, Rachel Todd, Jake Harrow, etc. Not to mention all the other anomalies I've already pointed out in my earlier videos in this series. I won't rehash them, I'll link my playlist below if you want to watch them next, but one of the big ones is it took the grandparents 6 days to release Gus's photo after reporting him missing.
Since then, the Murray family have remained largely silent, refusing to speak publicly and staying inside the same property that Gus was last seen. I set out for Oak Park Station to ask the family if they were ready to break their silence. But what I encountered when I arrived at the property shocked me and turned this reporting trip into something far more dangerous than I ever anticipated.
Get out!
I haven't been here
Get
before.
out!
I haven't been here before.
What are you doing? Get out!
Shocked and shaken, my photographer and I fled the property and made our way back to Yunta. The following day, I made a police report about what had unfolded at the property. The altercation happened just hours before the police announced that they would resume the search for little Gus for the 3rd time. So I'm here on the road leading up to the Yunta property where Gus Lamont went missing just over 30 days ago. Behind me is the search, rescue and police who are arriving for the 3rd search for Gus Lamont. The plan today is to dredge the dam, which is on the property. It's about 4.5 meters deep. And we actually don't know how long this is going to take, but we're going to follow the convoy now up to the homestead and cover this story as it unfolds. Just driving up to the Oak Park property. So this is the homestead where Gus Lamont was last seen. So this is the 3rd search that starts today for Gus Lamont. The previous 2 were called off after no trace of the little boy was found. The convoy of search and rescue, police have already headed up. We're just hanging back a little bit now as we go. It's probably another 45 minutes until we get up to the property. It's a really long, dusty, bumpy, rugged terrain out here. The dust from the convoy of the vehicles just fills the whole air. It's impossible to see. So we're just hanging back a little bit now so that we can just drive up there safely. Obviously, there's a lot of tension in the air today. I can just only imagine how the family will be feeling right now. Whilst certainly don't want to find Gus in the dam. It's possibly the only closure that the family are going to have, so I don't feel like there's any good outcomes from today.
The final red flag I want to point out in this video is something that the journalist said very casually, that the cars going down the road kick up so much dust that you can't even see. The implication, it's very unlikely that someone kidnapped Gus without anyone noticing, which really narrows the possibilities of what could have happened. I've linked my video "This Update is Bad" on the end card if you want to find out what those are. If you want to continue this series, let me know by liking, commenting, and sharing. Until next time, stay true.